Hey everybody, Jeff with Covet the Camper here. Well, it's that time of year again where I need to go and inspect all the seams and all the caulking and sealants on the camper. So I thought I would do a video here because I found a problem, and I'm not sure most people would look at this as a maintenance issue, or they don't check it very often. So I'm going to show you what I found here. All right, so while I was inspecting the seams, I found some cracked lenses. I don't know if you can see that one over there, but got a couple of cracked lenses on my running lights. So when I was doing the inspection, I found those cracked lenses covers on the running lights, so I figured it'd be a good time to, number one, inspect all the lenses on the camper, and two, upgrade to LED running lights. So I ordered on Amazon, let's see, 7 red and 7 amber LED lights for the rear and the front. So I'll be replacing those, but I also want to go over the caulking process and just the inspection of all the lights on the camper, just because I think it's something that people kind of overlook. They forget to take a look at those seals, you know, the caulking around the light fixture itself, and the lens cover. So, or the light cover, the lens. I found there are some cracked ones on the red, and I have a couple of cracked amber lens caps as well. So I'm going to go ahead and start stripping these off and put the new LED lights in, and I'll put all the links to the parts that I have that I purchased in the description below. But I'll also just kind of take a look at some of the tools that I use just when I'm doing any caulking repair, or actually stripping off all the caulking and replacing it on the camper. So let's take a look at that. So starting with the tools that I use to strip off the existing caulking, the damaged caulking, I have a floor scraper that I use for bigger stuff, or like on the lights and stuff. After I've removed them, I can use this to get all the surface nice and smooth. I also have one of these smaller ones to do the same thing. It just has the 3.5-inch blade instead of the 5-inch blade. Just a utility knife, some extra blades, of course, just a regular putty knife, a metal or plastic putty knife, some extra razor blades for these smaller scrapers. This all came in like a glass cleaning kit, just from like one of the big box stores. I got these at Lowe's, I think, but it came with these 3 items and some extra blades. So this one is basically just a larger version of this. It's got you know, a nice grippy handle on it, so you can really dig into it and get that old caulking off. And then this one's really cool. I'm sure you've seen these before, but you can kind of grab a hold of the caulking and pull to remove, you know, the big stuff, like on the on this bottom area here. You can really, you know, grab a hold of it and pull it and remove all that stuff. And it works on you know, things like the doors, the storage doors, and the like the refrigerator vent and things like that. So so I've got that. You'll need as far as electrical stuff goes, just a pair of wire cutters, some butt connectors, a pair of crimpers and wire strippers, small flathead or Phillips screwdriver, or one of each. And you can also use a large flathead screwdriver to remove some of the caulking as well. Of course, caulking gun, and I have some non-sag caulking, which is for, you know, the vertical surfaces, so on the sides or where the lights are. You can use some Oxguard or you know, the Permatex dielectric grease, just for the connections to keep those good. Roll of paper towels or some shop rags, and then of course clean everything up really well before you get started. Couple optional items here. These are those larger scrapers. It's not really a screwdriver, but it's got like a flat head with an angle. This is really good for getting the Dicor, the self-leveling Dicor, off of the roof. A little drill bit for a new pilot hole, and then of course a screw gun in case the light fixtures that you purchased have a different bolt pattern or screw pattern. And make sure you fill the old holes with you know, some caulking before you put the new fixture on. And if I know I've got seams that are bad, I'll repair those first before I wash the camper. So I'll get everything repaired and let it cure for a day or two, and then I'll wash the camper. I just kind of go over with the rag and some cleaner just to get your initial inspection, and do your repairs first, and then do a nice thorough cleaning and re-inspect. The reason why I do that is if I've got seams that are leaking, some caulking that has failed, I don't want a bunch of water getting in that. Optional also is behind the light fixture, you can use some butyl tape. I've done that in the past. I think what I'm going to do this time is just put a little dab of caulking around the back side of the light before I put it on, and then of course doing the caulking around the, you know, the light fixture itself. Okay, so just using this this little handheld small razor blade scraper, I scraped. This is all nice and smooth now, all the way around. I got all of the old caulking off, and I actually moved this light up because these two wires come out, you know, obviously you can see closer toward the bottom, so I moved the light up slightly. It doesn't go into the old hole where the wires went in, so that's still covered up. And of course there's going to be caulking behind this fixture and then all the way around as well. And just a tip, regardless if you're doing this to replace your light fixtures or just recaulking them, do it in steps or in phases. So you know, clean all the areas on all of them first, remove all the caulking on all of them first, and then remove the old fixture if you're replacing it before you open up your new tube of caulking. That way you don't have an open tube that's drying out, because it does take a little bit of time. It's a couple of hours if you're replacing the fixtures, just getting all the caulking and the areas cleaned up and all that. So do it in steps. Remove the caulking first, get everything cleaned up, remove the fixture, and then start your next step. There's a closer look at that cracked fixture. You gotta go slow, and it takes a lot of time, but if you do it this way, it's actually a lot less work overall. So once you've worked your way around the whole thing, it usually just comes up in one piece like that, and I just have a little bit of cleanup. I'm replacing all of the mounting screws with stainless steel screws. Also, you can see this screw here I reused when I replaced this light. I bought this camper in 2012, I believe. It's a 2003 model, and these were all original lenses, but I had taken them all off and resealed them, and of course I reused some of the screws. This is one I reused that shows rust, which means water got in. This is one that I put in new. So the the new seal prevented any new water from coming in. The last one all cleaned up, ready for the new fixture. Here are the part numbers for the new lamps. You got the red and the amber. And again, I got those on Amazon.com. I think they ended up being about $3 or $4 a piece. This is the sealant I went with. It's a Superflex by Alpha Systems, and it's the non-sag kind, and it is safe for EPDM roof. It's also good for fiberglass, aluminum, galvanized steel, and all that. I'm just going to quickly give these wires a strip. Just about, well, 1/4 of an inch to 3/8 of an inch is all you need. Go ahead and do that with all of them. I'm just using these little butt connectors. So you want to make sure that you don't strip off too much wire so it sticks out the other end. But another thing you want to do is with your dielectric grease, go ahead and just dip that one end before you make the crimp, and then just make sure you've got a good connection. And then just do that with all the wires, get all the butt connectors put on the fixture, and then that way when you go up you don't have quite as many crimps to make. It's actually labeled on here that the black is the positive and the white is the negative. So that's how you have to make sure you hook it up to your coach wiring. It's also a good idea to grab a 9-volt battery and do a quick test on all the lights to make sure that they all function properly and all the LEDs light up. They're all lit. So just give it a test on each light fixture. Okay, so once you've got the light mounted, go ahead and run the bead of caulk all the way around. Make sure that there aren't any voids in the sealant. Smooth it out with your finger, and then pop the cap back on. Just start out and go really slow. Just a tiny little bit on there. When you smooth it out with your finger, it'll work into the seam there, so there won't be any voids. And then pop the cap on. And that's it. Okay, so that's the last one. Caulking's done. Got all of them done over there. Alright, so I'll do the same, do the rear lights, get all those changed out, do it the same way. Again, just taking my time, and don't go too fast, and just remember that you don't need to use too much of the caulking around there, just a little bit, and then smooth it out with your finger. It's a little bit less messy that way, and you don't use as much product. It lasts a little bit longer. So yeah, I guess that's it. I'm going to go around and check the rest of the seams. I know my tail lights need to be recalked. The seal is starting to crack a little bit, so I'll get those done and finish washing the rest of the camper, and then we're going to get it loaded up because we're heading north this weekend. So I hope this helped you guys out. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Later.